My testimony, my story of faith is entitled Learning to Sign. When I was in high school, I found out that there was one deaf teenage girl in my hometown, and that near my church was another church that had a deaf ministry. So one Sunday evening, I went to visit that church. I went in and sat down among a large group of people, some of them deaf, some of them hearing, that were all signing. And they were signing fast, and it seemed like they were signing so well. And I looked, and I was stunned. I was stunned. I said, wow, that looks hard. That looks difficult. I knew that the Bible college I was going to go to, OCC, Ozark Christian College, would have a sign language deaf ministry program. And I wanted to learn that, and I thought, can I do that? And I thought, that is a wonderful opportunity, because I know that I can't do it, because I knew that I was very clumsy. Still, to this day, I often will bump into things like tables, coffee tables. I'll bump into it and I'll have bruises every place, all over me. And so I knew me learning to sign was going to really not be me. It was going to have to depend on God to help me be able to learn to sign. So I went to Ozark Christian College. I got the book. I was looking at this book with sign language pictures, and I was going, this is tough. And I looked, and I couldn't figure it out, so I had a friend. I said, can you tell me, how do you sign that picture? And I had one friend, she'd sit with me all the time. Her name is Tracy. She would say, oh, that's how you sign that. So she would help me and teach me. Well, at the same time, my sister and mother moved from southwest Oklahoma to Tulsa, Oklahoma. And they moved into an apartment building that was called, and still is called, the Murdoch Villa. I'll call it Murdoch Villa for short, MV. Well, I didn't have a car. So on weekends, when I had finished my school week, there were other students who had cars who were driving to Tulsa. So I said, hey, I want to go visit my family. Can I ride with you? So often, I wouldn't actually put my thumb up, but I would hitch a ride. I'd ask friends from Bible college to give me a ride to visit the Murdoch Villa so I could visit my family. Well, here I am, just brand new learning sign language. I went into the new apartment building, and to my surprise, there were 8 to 12 different deaf people who lived there. So I'm learning sign language, and I remember my deaf friends, they picked on me. I met them, I fingerspelled, my name is Vonda, and the guys were really rough on me. They would pick on me, and they'd mock me, and they'd say, your sign language stinks, and they'd tease me. But I had one friend, well, actually several of them really helped me a lot, but one friend, Betty Ann, she helped me so much. She was patient with me and taught me. And then another friend, Jerry Don, he was very patient with me and taught me, and all of them were very helpful, teaching me sign. You know, that didn't just happen. I can see that situation as I look back, and even at that time, I was struggling to learn to sign. But then God led me to be put in a situation where I had to sign if I was going to communicate with the people near me. And then I had to learn to sign naturally. So really, yes, I am so thankful for my teacher at Ozark Christian College who taught me sign language, but I'm also thankful for my teachers, the deaf people there at the Murdoch Villa, who helped to teach me how to sign and sign naturally. And then more things would happen throughout my life saying, keep signing. This is the way. It was as if God was telling me, this is the way, walk in it. I have this plan for you to use sign language to reach out and share Jesus' love with deaf people, with hard of hearing people. And he continued to give me the opportunities, and he put me in the places so I could learn to sign. I remember also when I graduated from Ozark Christian College and I went to move to that area where my mother and sister had lived, I tried to get a job. I was working a part-time deaf ministry work, just like 1/4 pay, and I was really committed to helping establish that deaf ministry, but I needed some more money to live, and I wanted to work in an area with deaf people, and I tried to get a job there. But everything on my resume said Christian, and the organization I was trying to work for with the deaf was not a Christian organization. So they didn't accept me. And I remember driving and crying and saying, Lord, how am I going to improve my sign language skills? How am I going to get better? What am I going to do? I can't get the jobs. And I remember God clearly speaking to my heart, reminding me of His words from the Bible. It is God who gives us our abilities and our skills. It is God who gives us the opportunities to learn. And God has been so faithful to give me many different opportunities to learn and to sign and to improve my skills. And I am still working and learning even after 30 years. This fall will be 30 years I've been signing to grow and to learn. But I thank the Lord because after that graduation and part of my education, I went to Iowa to an extension program where I learned more sign language. And just everything that happened, I've seen God saying, here is the way. He's saying, here's the way. Walk in it. As we cry out to the Lord, He opens up opportunities. I remember when I was graduating from Ozark Christian College, I made a list of 25 different things. I said, Lord, because I had been involved in a lot of different kinds of mission work, and I loved it all. Lord, which one should I do? I prayed and prayed over the 25 things, but deaf mission work was there. And as I prayed, that one hit me hard. You need to do mission work with the deaf. So I asked my teacher, do you know of any deaf mission work openings? Because since I'd been there for 6.5 years, I'd seen many, many calls for preachers or youth ministers or music ministers, Christian education directors, but children's ministers. But only one time in 6.5 years had I seen someone get a call, a listing of a desire for someone to work with a deaf ministry. So I said that to my sign language teacher, have you heard of anything for someone wanting to establish a deaf ministry? And my teacher said, yes, just yesterday I got a call from First Christian Church in Sapulpa, and they want to start a deaf ministry, and I think you are the one to go help them. So my teacher took me to First Christian Church Sapulpa, and I interviewed with them, and then I was invited to work with them for 1/4 time pay to work and to set up and establish a deaf ministry. God, His ways are amazing, and what He wants us to do, He will open the door. He will make the way. We just have to cry out to Him. So I challenge you, continue all the days of your life crying out to the Lord, oh God, you are the potter. I am the clay. Mold me and make me however you desire. I challenge you, let that be your prayer. And that is my story of how the Lord guided me and blessed me and helped me to become involved in mission work with the deaf.